Hey, what's up, YouTube family? It's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. Yes, there's black people in Nebraska. Check this out. I want to hit you guys with some more content. This is something, it's a small piece, but it's very relativeness. You'll enjoy it. A lot of people don't understand how much our media is controlled and how much it has been monopolized, and how long it's been controlled. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you the mechanics of how our media in this country and abroad has been controlled for a very long time, who controls it and why. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm reading a rendition in the book, Drugs as Weapons Against Us. And let's go ahead and get started. Super rich control media at home and abroad. U.S. intelligence aided by the famous dictum of Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels, who said the aim was not about controlling people physically, but controlling their hearts and minds. British magazine editor Francis Saunders reviewed troves of buried archival U.S. intelligence documents that explain their goals. In a 1950 NSC directive, the U.S. intelligence umbrella group, the National Security Council, described it as psychological warfare through propaganda to influence people's thoughts and actions so that the subject moves in the direction controllers desire for reasons which he believes to be his own. That in itself can sum up politics today. But let's go ahead and keep going. I don't want to get going off into something else. U.S. intelligence leaders developed such extensive control over American media that they boasted about it. In the late 1940s, the CIA, Frank Wisner, at the Office of Policy Coordination, oversaw 302 people on their payroll. The office conducted psychological warfare operations through its propaganda assets inventory. Wisner boasted he could play the media like a mighty Wurlitzer music organ. Wisner supervised an increasing staff that rose to 2,812 locally in 1952, along with 3,142 overseas contract personnel. The budget also rose in that period from $4.7 million to $82 million. While it's unknown exactly what Frank Wisner's employees were doing, various investigators shed some light on their work. Watergate muckraking reporter Carl Bernstein wrote a seminal 1977 expose on the media. Despite his earlier 1970s Watergate fame, only Rolling Stone magazine published this revealing article. Bernstein wrote that a U.S. Senate committee forced CIA Director George W. Bush to admit more than 400 journalists had lived double lives, maintaining covert relationships with the CIA. Others in the CIA told Bernstein the number was far higher. Bernstein listed the Senate committee findings that owners of virtually all of the leading media companies worked with the CIA. Imagine that. They also had top executives, editors, and journalists on the CIA payroll willing to reprint CIA-written articles verbatim under their names. That's why whatever you look at, wherever you look at your news, it all sounds the same. All the media reporters are saying the same stuff at the same time. This is why. The CIA's control of the media appeared to increase each year. Before his retirement, veteran CIA agent Ralph McGee obtained a CIA memo in 1991 claiming the agency had representatives in every media outlet in the country that helped to spin and censor the news. Imagine that. The Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan interests had already bought control of the most influential newspapers and investigative magazines. Ben Bagdikian, Dean of the University of California Berkeley Journalism School, set forth the ways in which multinational corporate owners continue to gain even tighter controls over public information in his book, The Media Monopoly, describing how the ever-consolidating world of media ownership approached near monopolization by a few companies. He explained that most major media outlets have directors on their company boards who also sit on the boards of major multinational corporations. For example, the board of directors of Time magazine and the industry standard bearer New York Times also sit on the corporate boards involved in defense contracting, oil and pharmaceuticals, as well as banks, finance, and insurance companies. Under law, the director of a company is obliged to act in the interest of his or her own company. Thus, the directors of media further the interest of the interlocked multinational companies. Wow. So that is basically the mechanics of how they consolidate everything from, like they said, oil, pharmaceuticals, banks, and insurance companies. It's all coming to be under one umbrella, which is the umbrella of ultimate control, no choice. In the 1970s and 80s, to further tighten the least control of public information, U.S. intelligence gained direct ownership over the vast majority of magazine and journal information sources. One of their own publications, Armed Forces Journal International, revealed that the Pentagon, military intelligence, published 371 magazines in 1971. So the military is printing information and presenting it to you as unbiased information, making it 16 times larger than the nation's next biggest publisher. This number increased to 1,203 different periodicals in 1982. These 1,200 magazine and journal titles straddled many areas of life, controlling information that could make it to the pages of news, fashion, and sports magazine, crowding book chain outlets. In 1975, a Senate Intelligence Committee issued a report revealing that taxpayer-funded CIA owned outright more than 200 wire services, newspapers, magazines, and book publishing complexes. According to Professor Michael Parenti in his book, Inventing Reality, and Washington Post reporter Morton Mintz in his book, Power, Inc., Mintz quoted a Senate Select Committee on Intelligence Activities 1977-1976 report that showed how the CIA promoted its own propaganda. It said a book written by one CIA operative was reviewed favorable by another CIA agent in the New York Times. So the left hand is controlling what the right hand is doing. Brilliant. Dan Rather, one of the best-known media insiders, described the media's conservative censorship in stark terms. Rather's career included reporting for United Press International, working as the CBS Southern Bureau Chief, and then a position as anchorman on the CBS Evening News in 1981. He remained that position until 2005. In 2002, the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, interviewed Rather about the media's aid in the suppression of dissent in the United States. Rather said, "What you have here is a miniature version of what you have in totalitarian states. As detailed later, this kind of control over people's access to information would allow American rulers to manipulatively promote certain dangerous drugs. It would further hide the use of Nazis in various U.S. intelligence-related operations, and it would influence people to fight wars to control other countries' drug crops, while leading people to believe they were fighting for freedom and democracy." He just basically described at the end of that paragraph war. And they present it as, oh, we're fighting for freedom. But no, they're fighting for drugs and oil, literally. You know what? It's just amazing. What I just described to you is how the average American's mind is controlled, manipulated, and set on a mission of, I have to fight for my country, my country, my flag. You know, this is the type of stuff, this is the mechanics of how you develop the average American who doesn't want to think for himself or think for herself. They want somebody to think for them, present it to them, and they say, thank you, give me some more, please. So, hey man, I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, how our media is monopolized and controlled, how it's been controlled for a long time, the purpose, and you know what? The future doesn't look too good. That's why you got to put your faith in God, Jesus Christ, and that's it. So, hey man, that's all I got for you tonight. It's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. Please like, share, and subscribe. Yo, please like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? I'm presenting y'all great information that you're probably not gonna get, you know, in too many other spaces. So please, man, give me a like, give me a share, give me something. I appreciate the views, but yo, those views and those likes don't add up. But hey, you know what? It's all good because I love giving the information. So hey, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.